Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 2. So if you didn't know yet, in presumably episode 14, Zoom will be unmasked. Well, to Barry at least. So Welcome to Earth 2, or episode 13, cancelled out some suspects for the identity of Zoom, but who is left? The people that we can, I'd say, be 75% sure are not Zoom are Earth 2 Joe, well mainly because we saw him die, but he could come back if he is Zoom, I guess, in some way, shape or form. Barry from Earth 2, seeing he was in Harrison Wells' company the whole of last episode. We see Zoom kill Deathstorm and Reverb during this time, and he also steals Earth 1 Barry. Do you think he'd be able to do all this, take Barry back to his lair, and be under supervision from Harrison Wells? I don't think so. Now, Jay Garrick was actually stuck on Earth 1 and was filling in as the Flash over there. And finally, this is the least certain I am with this, and that is Henry Allen. Now, he isn't referenced by name, I'm pretty sure, in episode 13, so it's hard to count him out completely, but I'd say if I was going to choose if he is Zoom, if he is a candidate for Zoom still, or if he isn't, I'd have to say he isn't anymore. But I would not be surprised if he actually ended up being Zoom. Now for the people who are still, in my opinion, open 100% to possibly being Zoom. Now they are Wally West from Earth 2, or whatever name he might be, for example, Daniel West, Eddie, either from Earth 1 or Earth 2, and finally, now there is only 3, in my opinion, left, so they have nothing really cancelling them out at all, so this final person is a wild card, and may seem a bit out of, like a bit of a random choice to most people, and that is Ronnie from Earth 1. Now I'm going to go through these 3 candidates and give reasons as to why they could be Zoom. Now I'm not going to give reasons why they won't be Zoom, but you guys can do that in the comments below. So we'll start with Wally. Now there is the popular theory going around, I think I first saw it on Reddit about 3 or 4 or so months ago, and that is the Daniel West is Zoom theory. Now to sum it up in an easy way for everyone, just imagine Wally, but his name is Daniel, but he actually never meets Iris and Joe. So he gets speed, but is never actually influenced by Joe, so he is evil. As we know on Earth 1, Wally is doing some illegal stuff and he isn't really in the right headspace, but he's actually getting really heavily influenced by Joe as well as Iris to get him on a better road. So it'd be a good comparison between the 2 characters of Zoom and the Flash, or even just Wally West on Earth 1, if like Barry was loved and raised by Joe and Iris, while Daniel/Wally West from Earth 2 wasn't and may have had like a tough upbringing. Next is Eddie. Now this could be Eddie from either Earth 1 or Earth 2 as I said before. In the case of Eddie from Earth 1, in the Flash Season 1 finale, Eddie obviously shoots himself to erase Earbud Thorne from that existence. But it is this moment after, where we see his body get sucked into the breach/singularity that is the most interesting part. Now cast and crew on The Flash have said on various occasions that everything shown in that finale was important. They had something like 15 to 20 minutes of deleted scenes or something like that. So a lot of scenes were deleted, but they kept Eddie getting sucked in. Now was this a hint at something big to come? So when Eddie gets sucked in, he may have not completely been dead. I guess it doesn't really matter if he's dead or he might have just been like passed out, but he may have, passed out due to shock or something. But anyway, when he's inside, the singularity he is in somehow reanimates him and infuses him with something. And as I've said before, the breach allows movement through space and time. So Eddie may have been given these abilities and ended up back on Earth 2 through space, but then gone back to when the particle accelerator first took place, or the incident took place that gave Jay Garrick his powers, roughly about, I think it was like 2, maybe, no, it might have been like over 3, maybe 4 years ago on Earth 2. And that is essentially where Zoom, or Eddie the Zoom character, starts off. Now with Eddie from Earth 2. Now thanks to this moment here, we now know that there is an Eddie on Earth 2. But is this Eddie Thorne? So we're just going to assume that it is Eddie Thorne. My theory for Earth 2 Eddie being Zoom is that we see characters like Deadshot, Henry Hewitt, and even like Leonard Snart being good on Earth 2. So what if Eddie, a good guy on Earth 1, is bad on Earth 2? Now Earth 2 Eddie may have had like a tough upbringing, he might have had like a Hunter Zolomon like story arc, heck, he might even be Hunter Zolomon like from Earth 2, who knows. Now one important thing to know which really pushes Eddie in the direction to maybe just not being Zoom but definitely being back on the show, but we're just going to say it might hint to him being Zoom indefinitely. And that is on Periscope, I think it was Candice Patton who plays Iris, I think it was her Periscope, but she was with Keenan Lonsdale who plays Wally West on the show. Now he accidentally let slip that Rick Cosnett, who is actually the actor that played Eddie, had been at recent table readings for the show. Now, one of the big things that counted Eddie not being back on The Flash was that he was actually in another show, but he actually was killed off in that show, so he's not on any series permanently now. Now, this was actually about 3 weeks ago or something, but I left it until I did another Zoom video. So this is a massive hint that Eddie could be Zoom. Now, finally, we got onto the wild card, and that's Ronnie. Now, I know this is a bit of a silly one, but I thought, you know what, I'll just chuck Ronnie in here because why not? Now, Ronnie was lost and believed to be dead after closing the singularity. But what if he didn't die, and he ended up on Earth 2 with some new abilities? Obviously, it is a shot in the dark, as I said before, but Robbie Amell, who plays Ronnie, has been traveling with Arrow and Flash people to different conventions and events. And if he's not really like a mainstay on the show, like really, if you think about it, on Flash Season 1, he wasn't really like a main character. Like, he showed up every now and then. He wasn't really like integral to the show. So if he's constantly traveling with these people, making appearances, like the rest of the people that are going there are like mainstays, like obviously Stephen Amell, who plays the Arrow, the guy that plays Diggle, the guy that plays Merlin and stuff like that. And on the Flash side, we have like Caitlin. I think Cisco goes to some of them, like Tom Cavanaugh as well. So these are main characters, but Robbie Amell's been traveling with them as well. So is this a hint that he is going to play a bigger part on the Flash? But thanks for watching, guys. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. Are there any people that are left out that you think will still be Zoom, or like a high chance of being Zoom? Do you still think Henry Allen could be Zoom? Do you think Barry Allen is somehow playing the biggest trick on planet Earth 2, obviously, and is somehow Zoom still? And if you have any things that like debunk some of my theories, please leave them in the comment section below, and we can have a bit of a discussion. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave any opinions in the comment section below. Did I leave any people out that you think should be considered a high chance of being Zoom? If you have any things that could debunk my theories on who could be Zoom, make sure to leave them in the comments as well, and we'll have a bit of a discussion. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.